Welcome you once again. So in this class we'll discuss the parallel operation of single phase transformer, and in the last class we have already gone through the polarity test, and that polarity test is used to determine the polarity of the transformer, and that is essential for parallel operation. Okay, so come to this topic. In general, what is meant by parallel operation? So we can say parallel operation means the simultaneous operation. Okay, that means here number of transformer can be operated simultaneously. Okay, so if you go through the definition, you find that the transformer is said to be operated in parallel when their primary windings are connected to a common voltage supply and the secondary winding to a common load. Okay, that means here the primary winding will connected or tied with a voltage source, same voltage source, and these transformers or we can say the secondary of the transformer is connected to a common load. That means the same load. So here the total load will be shared by the transformer, the number of transformer we have connected in parallel. Okay, so that is our main motto. Okay, that is the essence of this parallel operation. Okay, so now question arises, why we need that parallel operation? So we need parallel operation because this is reliable. Okay, reliable means in terms of continuity. So if number of transformer are connected in parallel, so if I somehow one transformer fails to deliver power, then the continuity can be maintained by the other transformer. Okay, and second one is your future extension, or we can say that is a load growth. Okay, so if somehow in your future load demand, there is the need of load demand. Okay, so you can connect that because we have that much of capacity with us. Okay, so for this we can say that future extension is possible in this case also. Then third one is easy to maintenance. Okay, this is same as your reliability. Okay, that means if by somehow if a fault occur, then we can shift the load to the other transformer. Okay, then this faulty part can be easily maintained. Okay, so that's why this is easy maintenance. Then the size and cost of transformer will be small. Okay, because here the transformer is divided. Okay, instead of using a large transformer having large capacity, so we can divide this load among the different transformers. So that's why the size as well as cost of transformer can be reduced. Okay, so the next what must be the condition that is quite essential for the parallel operation of the transformer. Okay, so these are some points I will highlight here. So these points are: first, the transformer may be connected in same polarity. So that same polarity can be obtained from that polarity test that we have already gone through the previous videos. Okay, then second one is your transformation ratio must be same, and the per unit or percentage impedance must be same, and the ratio of resistance to reactance or reactance to resistance ratio must be same. So these are the few conditions. So out of all the condition, this condition 1 and 2, this is point 1 and 2, it must be satisfied. Okay, that means the transformer must connected in same polarity. Okay, if wrong connection or wrong polarity will be there, so there might be chance of dead short circuit, which actually leads to the damage of the apparatus. And second one is your the transformation ratio must be same. Okay, if this will be not same, so a circulating current will flow through the winding. This will cause a result of unusual heating. Okay, so these are the conditions. Then we'll discuss the process by which this load is going to be shared by the transformer. Okay, so see. Okay, we'll discuss here the single phase transformers having equal voltage ratio. Okay, that means here the voltage ratio of the transformer will be equal, and that will be connected in parallel. So see, these are the two transformers, transformer A and a transformer B. Okay, so these are connected in parallel. Okay, see how this primary, this one is the primary side, this one is the secondary side. How the primary are connected, and these are connected to the same source, same voltage source here. Okay, both the primary is energized from the same voltage source, and the secondary, these are the secondary winding having the resistance and the reactance, okay, of transformer A, that is denoted by ZA, and similarly the resistance and reactance of transformer B, and that is usually denoted by ZB, okay, and that is connected to a common load. So this is the connection, this is the proper connection, okay. So you can say here the transformer, as the transformer are operated in your connected in your parallel, so you can say there is two path, okay. So there is two path, and these paths are characterized by their impedances ZA and ZB, okay. So here the total current is your IA, and that current is shared, or that current is delivered to the load, okay. So this is the current again, I. So input current is your I, then this will be I. So how actually this transformer A and this one is a transformer B, okay. So how they will share the current, and after that we will calculate the KVA sharing, okay. So after calculating the value of I, then we can calculate the KVA shared, because they are tied or they are connected in parallel, so they will operate at a constant voltage, okay. So this one is your V, constant voltage V, okay. So as we have assumed that the single phase transformer having equal voltage ratio, so as the voltage ratio are equal, then the induced EMF on both the transformer, they are also equal, okay. So that's why this E, that is equal to EA and EB, both are equal, okay. So here look at the equivalent circuit here, okay. This equivalent circuit is referred to secondary, okay. So as because we have used two transformer, that's why there is two parallel path, okay. Parallel means, so your parallel means shunt connection or parallel connection, that's why. So here the total current will be shared by both the transformers. Say the transformer A carries current of IA and the transformer B carries a current of IB, okay. So if we apply KCL at this point, this current will be divided here. So this I, total current I, will be equal to IA plus IB, sum of this current, okay. So how to calculate IA and IB? So this can be calculated by using the current division formula also, okay. Have you already gone through that portion? So this total current IA will be, total current is your I into opposite resistance or impedance, okay. We are calculating IA, so with opposed to that the impedance is your ZB divided by sum of these two impedance ZA plus ZB. So this is how you can calculate IA. So I have calculated here IA is equal to IB, okay. IA is equal to, okay, IA is equal to the total current I into opposite resistance ZB divided by ZA plus ZB, okay. So here, okay. So likewise I have calculated IA here. IA is equal to total current into opposite impedance ZB divided by sum of ZA plus ZB. Similarly IB you can calculate IB, this one is your IB. So here total current will be I, okay. We are going to calculate IB. So opposed to that, opposition to that, the impedance will be ZA divided by ZA plus ZB, which is equal to your IB. I have also calculated that IB is equal to I into ZA divided by ZA plus ZB, okay. This one IB is equal to this, okay. So this is how you can calculate the values of current, okay, shared by both the transformer. Then after calculating their values of current, then we can calculate their sharing of KVA, okay. So let here the total KVA is equal to S, which is equal to V2 into I, total current is your I, into 10 to the minus 3, because these are in your VA, that is converted to, okay. So SA, that is equal to KVA shared by or carried by transformer A. Similarly SB is your KVA shared or carried by transformer B, okay. So how to calculate the KVA set by transformer A? So simply its voltage, okay, and its current. Is because they are operated in parallel, so the voltage is your same voltage, or that is your V2, you can say, and IA, because IA is the current carried by transformer A. So V2 into IA into 10 to the power minus 3. So V2 in place of IA, we have already gone through this value. IA, this will be total current into opposite resistance ZB divided by ZA plus ZB into 10 to the power minus 3. So V2 into I into 10 to the power minus 3 divided into ZB divided by ZA plus ZB. So this portion is your total KVA. See this V2I into 10 to the power minus 3. So in place of this we can substitute S. So S into ZB divided by ZA plus ZB. Okay. So this is the KVA set by transformer A. Similarly, the KVA set by transformer B will be total KVA into ZA divided by ZA plus ZB. Okay. So this is how you can calculate the KVA set by both the transformers. Okay. So if you add it, you will get the total KVA. This SA plus SB, this will gives you the total KVA. Okay. Then we will discuss what happens if the transformer having the unequal voltage ratio is operated in parallel. Okay. So this one is a primary. This primary is connected to the supply voltage. Okay, and this is the equivalent circuit I have drawn here. So this both the winding that will induces the EMF of EA and EB respectively. Transformer A having impedance of ZA and transformer B having impedance ZB. Okay, so this is the total current I which is delivered to load, which is equal to the sum of IA plus IB. Okay, so as I told you, if the transformer having unequal voltage ratio will be connected in parallel, what will happen? At no load, and under this case you will consider at no load, what happen? A circulating current will flow through this, the secondaries of both the transformer. So if this is EA, this is EB, so current is equal to their voltage difference EA minus EB and sum of their impedances ZA plus ZB. Okay. So this is the circulating current which is going to be circulate in the secondaries of the both the transformers. Okay, at no load condition. At no load condition. So if you apply KVL with the first transformer, okay, so this will be this induced EMF EB, okay, induced EMF EA minus this drop, this voltage equal to V2. So we can write EA minus IA ZA, that will be equal to V2. Okay, so EA will be V2 plus IA ZA, V2 plus IA ZA. So I have written here EA is equal to V2 plus IA ZA. Similarly EB, if you apply KVL to this loop, okay, you will get EB minus IB ZB is equal to V2. So EB will be V2 plus IB ZB. So this is the equation of induced EMF, no load induced EMF on the secondaries of both the transformers. Okay. So next, so when the transformer is loaded, okay, the load current I will be shared by both the transformer or by the two transformer. So as we have mentioned the voltage equation or the no load induced EMF on the secondary EA, which is equal to VT plus IA ZA, and EB is equal to V2 plus IB ZB. Okay. So and load voltage V2, this will be simply equal to the product of current into load impedance ZL. Okay. So in place of I can substitute, or we can substitute IA plus IB, and ZL remain as usual. Okay. So as EA is equal to V2 plus IA ZA, okay, EA is equal to V2 plus IA ZA. So in place of V2, I can substitute this IA plus IB into ZL. In place of V2, I can substitute IA plus IB into ZL, and IA Z it was remain same. Okay. So similarly again you take the value of EB here. EB is equal to V2 plus IBZB. Now substitute the value of V2, same V2, IA plus IBZL and IBZB as it was remain. Okay, so this is the equation of EA and EB. So this EA is marked as equation 1 and this EB is marked as equation number 2. So the circulating current, to calculate the circulating current, so we have to calculate the difference in the voltages, that is your EA minus EB. Okay, so if you substitute this equation 1 minus equation 2, so this C you will find that IA plus IBZL both terms are same. So this term will be get cancelled, only this IAZA and IBZB will be left. So this will be equal to the difference of IAZA minus IBZB. Okay. Then substituting the value of IA, what the value of IA we have obtained here. If you substitute the value of I in equation number 1, so equation number 2. Okay. So substitute the value of I A, what we have already obtained here, is equation number 2 here. Then you will solve. You will find the value of IB as EB into ZA, okay, minus EA minus EB into ZL divided by ZA plus ZB plus ZL into ZA plus ZB. Okay. And if you substitute the value of IB, okay, value of IB in this equation, IA equation, okay, you will get the value of IA here as EA into ZB plus EA minus EB into ZL divided by ZA into ZB plus ZL into ZA plus ZB. Okay, so this is how the current at this condition IA and IB is calculated. So after getting the value of IA and IB, we can calculate the KVA shared by both the transformer under this condition. Okay, so this is how you can calculate the, or this is how can you calculate the values of the transformers, single phase transformer under parallel operating condition. Okay, so here after calculating the value of IA and IB, so the common voltage, the load voltage, it can be calculated. That value of IA and IB will be substituted. Their sum will be taken and is multiplied with ZL to get the value of V2. Okay. So likewise you can calculate the current and the secondary load voltage under this condition. Okay. So hope you understood these facts, and in the next class we will go to a 3-phase transformer. Okay. Thank you for watching.